Hello everyone, in this video I'll be translating and summarizing the latest Urdu broadcast by Imran Riaz Khan to make it accessible for our English-speaking audience. Let's go through the key developments and insights in Imran Riaz Khan's words. Pakistan's current government has turned even Pakistan's Independence Day into Defence Day. Before this, let me tell you, Pakistan used to celebrate Pakistan Day on 23rd March. On 23rd March 1940, the Pakistan Resolution was presented, and this day was celebrated as a reminder of the two-nation theory that Pakistan was created on a separate ideology. And on this day, Pakistanis were given the opportunity to reflect on why we made this new country, what was the reason behind it, and what our purpose is. This day was meant for reflection. But then military parades started, helicopters, aircraft, and all these displays, and it began to be celebrated as a Defence Day. Since 23rd March comes in spring, parades and other events took over. A day meant for national contemplation became a day to watch military displays. Then there is Pakistan's actual Defence Day, 6th September, when a major war took place between Pakistan and India in 1965. India attacked Pakistan, aiming to capture Lahore, Sialkot and other areas, but failed. Pakistan defended itself successfully. So Defence Day is 6th September. But now, even 14th August, Independence Day, seems like another Defence Day. It feels like the only remaining day for Pakistanis has also been militarized. It's as if the entire government is trapped in the mindset of one war. A battle happened with India. Indian planes were shot down. Since then, the whole of Pakistan has been consumed by war fever. Yet we haven't gained even 1 inch of land, nor reclaimed our waters from India, nor freed Kashmiris from oppression. But the current regime has turned this into an opportunity. On 14th August, the awards and honours were distributed in a way that looked like the division of spoils among monkeys. If people can criticise PTI for raising their party flags or protesting on Independence Day, then the same criticism applies here for turning Independence Day into Defence Day. The permissions granted for the celebrations were given as if they were for fighting a battle, and the awards seem based on those few days of military conflict. Viewers, in the advertisements printed in newspapers or on the big posters on streets, the founders of Pakistan, Quaid-e-Azam, Allama Iqbal, Fatima Jinnah, Liaquat Ali Khan, are all missing. The people who made Pakistan and struggled for it are absent. Instead, uniformed officers are featured: Army Chief, Air Chief, DG, ISI, Naval Chief and Chairman Joint Chiefs of Staff. In other words, the founders of Pakistan have been replaced with the current military leadership. And alongside them are present-day politicians rejected by the public, whose faces people don't even want to see. What a strange combination. Have you noticed? Politicians at least have many historical figures they can put on posters: Quaid-e-Azam, Asma Jahangir, and so on. Judges can display famous judges from history. But generals, can they put up photos of retired generals like Musharraf, Zia-ul-Haq, Yahya Khan, or Ayub Khan? No, they only feature those currently in uniform. Look at General Bajwa. Once the most prominent figure in the country, now you won't find even a small picture of him in the papers. The same with Ayub Khan, despite his era including a war victory. Only the current generals are showcased because they hold power now. So an Independence Day has been turned into another Defence Day. It feels like the entire nation is being trapped in a constant state of war, turned into a militaristic people. Sometimes they tell the nation, this is jihad, go to Afghanistan and fight the Russians. Later, the same fighters are called terrorists. Then they say, these Taliban are good, those Taliban are bad. Eventually, even the good ones are disowned. There was a time when groups fighting in Kashmir were supported. Now they are under house arrest. I cannot understand why Pakistan's military establishment always imposes such strange policies on the state. Today, they are keeping the nation in a war mindset. Soon, they will say, now we must fight on the economic front, not with weapons, but with tools. And they'll say this when they realize the economy is ruined, and it is ruined. Half of Pakistan's population is now below the poverty line. Electricity, gas, petrol and medicines are beyond people's reach. Wheat and sugar scandals are rampant. From cricket to law and order, everything is deteriorating. Yet, in such times, they distribute medals to each other. And the criteria? Whoever's face and work they like. Yes, a few deserving people got them, but most of it was nepotism. Ministers awarding themselves like Bilawal, whose sister previously received one on behalf of Zulfikar Bhutto. The Prime Minister pretends to refuse one. I won't take it, let everyone else have it, as if that's a favour to the nation. But a fake government handing out fake medals is just fitting. Previously, there was at least some merit. Recommendations might sneak in one or two people, but most awards were decided by a committee on merit. Now it's mostly favoritism. Some even got the same medal twice in just 5 months, like Umar Farouk, who is known for collecting luxury watches and jewellery. His main qualification? Testifying against Imran Khan in the Toshikhana case. He bought a gifted watch and appeared as a witness, exactly as planned by the establishment. It seems these national awards are being deliberately devalued. In the future, people will not feel honoured to receive them, seeing the kind of company they'll be in, touts and sycophants, chosen based on personal likes and dislikes. There are countless journalists and others truly deserving of awards. People I personally know, but they are ignored because their words are bitter for the government. Some deserving ones are in jail. The people who received awards are those who stayed silent during critical times, leaders who wouldn't even name Modi or India during conflict, calculating whether Pakistan would win or lose. Meanwhile, prisoner number 804, Imran Khan, immediately stood against India with full force, despite having deep grievances against the military establishment for the past 3 years, facing brutality, injustice, and severe losses at their hands. Yet he still stood with Pakistan. Such people deserved awards, those who endured suffering but still supported the country wholeheartedly. Why didn't Sabir Shakir get an award, despite supporting Pakistan even while living in exile for 3 years? Why not Imran Khan, despite being in jail, enduring hardship, and openly saying that Field Marshal Asim Munir is responsible for his plight, yet still standing with Pakistan against India? Awards should have been given to such people, those who supported the country even when wronged by its institutions. And despite hating him, he set aside personal differences and stood for Pakistan. And he did so at a time when Nawaz Sharif, Zardari, Bilawal and all the others were sitting silently, finger on lips. They wouldn't utter a single word. For days we kept urging this father-daughter duo and the others to at least say something for God's sake, but they wouldn't speak. Now they're busy collecting awards. Viewers, just imagine, a dangerous new power has been given to Pakistan's forces. I'll share the news with you. On the basis of suspicion, any person can now be imprisoned for 3 months. That means, if the security forces suspect someone is not okay, they can quietly lock them up. For 3 months, that person has no guardian, no representation, nothing. And after 3 months, they can simply say, well, we thought he was suspicious, but he's fine now. Brother, you've just stolen 90 days of someone's life. You've thrown them in prison, destroyed their life, stamped them with a label. You can pick up anyone and throw them in. In Pakistan, laws are always used to crush political opponents. And now the Shahbaz government has pulled this stunt. Remember my words, these things will come back to haunt them. On the very occasion of 14th August, the day of freedom, they've brought in this cheap and draconian law to imprison people. Let me explain the details. What is this, actually? Senator Mushtaq Ahmad Khan has commented on it, saying, I condemn the Shahbaz government's approval of this terrifying amendment to the Anti-Terrorism Act from the National Assembly. This is lawlessness in the name of law. This is a law to take away citizens' freedom and turn free citizens into slaves. This is a black law, a draconian law. It will turn the whole of Pakistan into a prison. It grants extraordinary blind powers to the police, FC, security forces and intelligence agencies. It will increase enforced disappearances and human rights violations. It will also further strangle freedom of expression and press freedom. On 14th August, the Shahbaz Zardari government's action is shameful. On the basis of suspicion, police, FC, army and intelligence agencies can imprison anyone for 3 months. This is a legal cover for enforced disappearances. Anyone can be picked up, forcibly disappeared and made to vanish. Now, in the name of law and order, they will pick up whomever they want. They have found a new way to crush political opponents and really what is left of politicians standing now. Here's one example. Arbab Ali, a member of the National Assembly from PTI, shared his experience from last night. He says that around 1 o'clock in the morning, when he left Parliament lodges, there was a protocol blocking the way. Police stopped him. When he asked whose protocol it was, he learned it was for a service chief, army chief, air chief. They were passing. He says he was made to wait for 15 minutes. As an MNA, representing hundreds of thousands of people, he found it strange and insulting to be made to stand on the road for government employees. But when the warden told him that even the defence minister was also waiting for the service chief's protocol to pass, he said, then my heart felt at ease. Think about it. Khawaja Asif, the defence minister, standing on the roadside, waiting for his subordinate's motorcade to pass. Where does his self-respect go in that moment? And yet these people talk about civilian supremacy. Arbab Ali said his embarrassment was reduced when he learned the defence minister was also standing there. About 80 military vehicles passed, along with 4 or 5 protocol vehicles, while they stood waiting. Viewers, this is the reality of Pakistan's so-called civilian supremacy. Khawaja Asif's status is reduced to nothing. He's like a child running to complain to the army, constantly blaming PTI for violent politics. They even accuse PTI of violence on 14th August. Where? Did PTI beat anyone with sticks? Did they fire on anyone? No. But honestly, I think Imran Khan's opponents have developed a phobia. If someone chants a slogan for Imran Khan, they feel violence is happening. If someone raises a PTI flag, they feel attacked. These things torture them psychologically. It pains them to see that despite all their efforts, people still raise PTI's flag, chant Imran Khan's name, and his popularity continues to grow. If that's violence, then yes, this is violent politics. Because as long as people raise PTI's flag, as long as they fight against this system, these rulers will keep feeling tortured. I feel that if one day Imran Khan were to say all Pakistanis should come out carrying Pakistan's national flag, the Punjab police or Pakistan's police and forces might even start snatching the national flag from citizens. If Imran Khan says you must all carry the Pakistani flag, it's very possible the forces will try to take it away because whatever he says seems to hurt them and drives them into a strange frenzy. Viewers, there's also news about 2 Chief Justices, one from the Supreme Court and one from the Islamabad High Court. Let's start with the Supreme Court Chief Justice. Justice Yahya Afridi has made public the proceedings of the committee meetings. From this, we learned why a full court was not called on the 26th constitutional amendment. Justice Yahya Afridi said, as recorded in a note written by Maryam Nawaz Khan Sahiba and attached with a document, that as Chief Justice of Pakistan, he did not consider it necessary to call a full court on the 26th Amendment, because, like in the past, it would give the public an opportunity to gossip about the Supreme Court, and it would affect harmony among judges. What? Are the judges little children drinking milk whose harmony will be disturbed? You take such huge salaries from the nation, and when an issue comes up, instead of facing it, you run from it, saying, "We won't deal with this, because it might harm our harmony." Why? That's like a pigeon closing its eyes upon seeing a cat, thinking the problem will disappear. So a national matter must be ignored to protect your personal relationships? And this fear of public gossip, in a democracy, if you do right, people will praise you. If you do wrong, people will criticize you. Since when is it the judiciary's job to avoid public criticism? Your only job is justice. That's why they say the law is blind. It doesn't see who is in front of it or what the consequences will be. It only ensures justice. Now, about the Islamabad High Court Chief Justice, a man brought in from Lahore High Court, ranked somewhere around 15 or 16 there, suddenly placed here. When he gave an English language speech in Islamabad, people mocked him. I thought, okay, English is not our national language. Maybe he has some other qualities. Maybe that's why he's been made Chief Justice. But when he spoke in Urdu, it turned out he was just as bad. On Independence Day, he too was praising war and talking about conflict. Why is a Chief Justice talking about war? You should be talking about Pakistan, about freedom, about sovereignty, about law and justice and the Constitution, not about war. I've said it before. They've deliberately trapped the whole nation in a war mindset, even though the people don't care about that right now. The nation is asking, when will we get our rights back? This judge even said, walls of melted iron. I've never even heard such an expression. His Urdu was bizarre and incoherent, and he couldn't complete a proper sentence. And this is the man they've made Chief Justice of Islamabad High Court. Thank you to Pakistan's establishment. They like such people. They prefer those with limited ability, a few degrees more incompetent than themselves. So they will blindly carry out the establishment's orders. Gumbar. Viewers, protests are happening in Bajaur right now. Citizens affected by operations there are sitting at Umari Chowk with black flags on 14th August. President Arif Alvi has also given a message. I'll share it at the end of this week. And next week we'll talk again. Right now we'll be gathering at 8 o'clock in the evening in Manchester on Wilmslow Road to celebrate Independence Day with friends, God willing. President Arif Alvi, in his tweet, said, "Happy Independence Day, my dear countrymen. May this day also be blessed for prisoner number 804, our leader, the greatest after Quaid-e-Azam, still fighting the battle of the two-nation theory. You may ask, what new battle is this? Listen. Pakistan is still divided into two nations. One is the nation of usurpers and looters, those who seize power, lie, oppress and kill. The other is the nation of the poor, the needy, the hungry, the prisoners of 9th May, the destitute, the unemployed, and those deprived of bread, clothing and shelter. My countrymen, only Imran Khan will fulfill the dream of true freedom. Continue your peaceful struggle. Allah's help and the blessings of my Prophet, peace be upon him, are with us. The day is not far when you will be truly free. At the end, he wrote, "Release Imran Khan." That wraps up our translation of Imran Riaz Khan's video. I hope this English version helped you understand his message better. Please like, share and subscribe to Awami Lens to help our community grow. Don't forget to leave a comment below and let me know what you thought of this effort.